DeyrulZafaran Monastery is one of the unique structures overlooking Mesopotamia in the magical land of Mardin. This monastery, which is 4 kilometers away from the city center, is also called the Syriac masterpiece. If you go to DeyrulZafaran at sunset, you can see the colorful states of the Mesopotamian plain flirting with the sun and feel all the values that make Mardin different. Well, what is the ancient story of this monastery, which has had its share of the flamboyant history of a stone mountain city, and what awaits you while you tour? The courtyard of the monastery, which is reached by passing through a garden full of centuries-old plane and olive trees, is connected with the cities in the fairy tales. You are included in this fairy tale with the mystery of Mesopotamia, its inviting energy and the yellowish stone color that caresses your eyes when you go. It must have been inspired by the color of these stones. DeyrulZafaran's Syriac word meaning is yellow. However, there are those who say that the saffron plant that grows around it can contribute to this name. It is estimated that the age of the Temple of the Sun coincides with the period when Mardin was first established, that is, before Christ. And you meet him at the eastern corner of the Morhanano church in the monastery. The ceiling of the temple, where the Assyrians worshipped the sun before they became Christians, was made without mortar and the stones were leaning against each other. It was worshipped until the light from the room's tiny window disappeared, and sacrifices were offered to the sun on the altar. There are also opinions that this victim is a human and you tremble a little when you think about it while walking. It must be one of the beauties evoked by the prayers inside. Each temple has a different definition of peace. DeyrulZafaran Monastery is one of the places where peace is high. The courtyard of the monastery is a magical realm in itself, and you can feel the eternal mystery of Mesopotamia that connects the sky and the earth. The Syriac inscription on the giant entrance door of the courtyard means that he came with faith. The priest with his long rosary, the more you come across this inscription and the high black cloak, the better you realize that you are visiting an active place of worship rather than a historical artifact. DeyrulZafaran Monastery, which has both historical and religious importance, is almost like a Mecca for Assyrians scattered all over the world. So much so that for 640 years, this was the patriarchate center of all Assyrians in the world. After 1932, the headquarters of the patriarchate was first moved to Homs and then to Damascus. The monastery was used not only for worship but also for education, and the first printing house in the region was established here. Peter IV, one of the monastery's 19th-century patriarchs, was greatly reformed. The printing of dozens of books in Syriac, Ottoman, Arabic and Turkish, which started during his reign with the printing house he bought from England, continued until 1969. Here you can see some parts of the printing house that has been retired for 50 years, monastery and some in Kirklar Church.